Now that you've finished the notes, it's time to do some practice. If you're hung up on either number 1 or number 2 from the practice problems on the back of your Chapter 10, Section 1 notes, I'm going to work through both of these problems right now. There are multiple approaches that you could take, different things you could do, so just know that sometimes there is more than one way to go about. So I might go a route that you didn't go, but that doesn't mean that yours is necessarily wrong. All right, so number 1, I have 2000x plus 7000 equals 21,000. So in order to make these a little bit simpler, right, we can see they both end with the 3 zeros. Let's go ahead here and think about just divide everything by 1,000 maybe. Okay, see what it looks like after that. So if we divide this by 1,000, divide this by 1,000 and this, right? So 2000x divided by 1,000 is going to be 2x plus 7,000 divided by 1,000 would be 7, and that should end up equaling 21. So this looks way easier to solve. Let's just go ahead and finish it. Subtract our 7, and we've got 2x is equal to 14 divided by 2. X is equal to 7. And again, I know you know how to check them. I'll go ahead and check 1 here just to make sure that we're on the right track. So 2,000 times 7 would have been 14,000 plus 7,000 should equal 21,000, and it looks like it checks out. Let's go on to number 2. We have 0.25x minus 0.4 equals 1.6. So we want to get rid of these decimals. So we got to figure out how far do we have to move the decimal to get rid of the terms having decimals. So in this case, we're going to have to move our decimal over 2 place values, right? So remember, every time we move it over a place value, it's like multiplying times 10. So on this one, I'd have to multiply times 10 twice. So that's like multiplying by 100. And both of these, I would only have to multiply once, but since I have to do the same thing to all of them, I'd have to move each of these over 2 spaces as well. So we're going to multiply by 100 on this one, simply because we have 2 decimal places in that first number. So let's go ahead and do it now. So I'm going to multiply the left side of the equation times 100 and the right side. So 100 times 0.25x is going to give us 25x minus 100 times 0.4, move that over 2, that would be minus 40 is equal to 160. And this is easier for us to solve without the decimals, so we're going to go ahead here and isolate the x. So add 40 to each side first. 25x should equal 200. Divide by 25. And x should equal 8. And you can always take that, plug it back in, just to verify that everything checks out. So we'd say 0.25 times 8 minus 0.4 is equal to 1.6. So 0.25 times 8, let's think about that. That's like $2, right? 8 quarters makes $2. And $2 minus 40 cents should end up equaling $1.60. So we can say that this one checks out. All right, so if you need help with any additional practice problems, please click on the appropriate video.